Why is that cargo ship getting so close to shore? What are those on, what are those on the main top of it? What? Now what you just saw there was the destructive capability of this here. A nuclear cargo ship that I made for a very specific reason. Now today I have a very specific goal, and I need to stop this thing from reaching land. Basically, in short, it has everything set so that I can set it to go straight to land without me in it. And what I need to do is I need to find a way to stop it from hitting land and stop it from blowing up like that again. Whether that be a plane bombing it and blowing it up into the water, whether that be another boat trying to ram it off course, or whatever it might be, we're gonna have to figure it out. And maybe I'll succeed, maybe I won't, we'll have to see. Now, to make it a little bit more difficult on myself, these are some EMP launchers all along the top. They are set at different timers, and they will angle up and go every couple seconds. It's not going to be a massive deterrent, but I didn't want to use the complexity mod, and this was all I had enough complexity for. Anyway, I think I have a very solid idea of my mission now, and I think it's time that I start building something to try to combat this beast of a nuclear cargo ship. Okay, so my first idea for how I want to try to take this thing down is I really want to build a plane. And I'm not talking any plane, I'm not talking a bomber yet. Maybe a little later on. But for now, I'm thinking I want something small, something fast, and something that can get me in and out real quick while dropping a lot of explosives or bombs or, you know, shooting cannons, whatever it may be, onto that boat, making sure it does not get to land. So I think the first thing you need, obviously, is a a cockpit. Kinda gotta have that one. And, yeah, I'm gonna start building, and I will get back with updates when there are some. Okay, so, my general idea for this is kind of like a mix between a Russian fighter jet, like an Su-27 or something like that, where it kind of has this up then down sort of shape to it, but also kind of mixed with almost like a spaceship. I want this to be kind of futuristic, kind of, you know, very unique looking. And I don't know if it's gonna fly. I make no guarantees of that, but we're gonna try. And we're gonna hope for the best. Because, I mean, in the end, that's all you can ever really do. Now, I will say one thing I'm not gonna be doing for these builds is I'm not gonna be adding anything that's purely just for, you know, kind of just additions that don't need to be done. I'm not gonna be doing anything like that. So, for another example, I'm not going to be adding any landing gear or anything to this, because this has one mission and one mission only, and that is to bomb and blow up this big boat. So, that's going to make it a lot easier on myself, and that's just going to make it a lot easier all around. Okay, so I think this is the general kind of gist of how I want it to be, and it doesn't look amazing, but it doesn't look too bad. The lift is a bit too far back, but also I could just put some weight in the back, and you know, that would pretty much be solved. So that's not too big of an issue. I am going to swap this with some 4 long wedges, because up at the front here we have these 4 long wedges, and these are going to be pushing it down. So I want the equal amount of force up so that I have that kind of working for me. And then I've got these where it's going to also give force up, so that's going to help out too. Now though, it's time to test fly this thing. I make 0 guarantees it's gonna work well, but only one way to find out. You know? Pitches up more than I'd like. That's for sure, but dang, does this thing go fast. And you remember what I said I wanted out of it? Speed, small, and, you know, looks like a Russian jet, and I'd say all of those succeeded. Now, to go back and to make sure it actually has everything I need it to have in terms of the weapons department. Yeah, I'd say this thing's flying amazing. I just touched up on some things, and it's still pitching up a bit more than I'd like, so I might move the wings back a bit, but all around it's working amazingly. And I turned up, I made these go at a higher angle, so it'll pitch like crazy when I do actually want it to, which also follows that Russian fighter jet theme. You know, my general idea for this is kind of a Su-34 or Su-27, as I said. One of the Su jets. And yeah, I'd say not necessarily the shape, but the kind of feel that I'm going for is definitely working with that. Now, I'm thinking I don't want to give it too much weaponry. That's one thing I really don't want to do. I don't want to just completely over-weaponize this thing and then make everything easy on me. I'm thinking maybe a smart cannon down here. Even that's kind of pushing it. Honestly, I'm going to get rid of the smart cannon. I'm going to give myself one thing. An actual cannon. And then actually 2 actual cannons. That's all that I get. And I'm going to put them right there so it's nice and easy to use them. Nice and kind of just in a great spot. And that's going to help me with takeoff too. So, let's test this one last time, make sure it flies alright. Ooh, it does not pitch up or down really. I mean, it kind of pitches down very slightly, but way better than when it was pitching up. This thing is flying absolutely amazingly, and I think it's ready to take on the boat. I'll see you in a second. That boat's primed and ready to start going towards the mainland in 15 seconds, so I need to rush back to my plane right now, and I need to get up in the air and ready to defend the land from that boat. Or it'll sink. What? Okay, I think that just was a visual glitch. I need to hurry. It does not go fast, but if I miss my first shot, I gotta go all around. If I crash, then I'm saying I instantly lose if I crash. You know, I made a pretty solid jet. If I somehow crash and mess up, then that's on me. The whole mainland gets destroyed. So here's the jet. I changed up the paint a bit. You know, I actually got rid of some of the thrust because I think there was just a bit too much. You know, we were going at like 400 miles an hour, and that's just, yeah, you need a little bit less than that. Don't get me wrong, I love speed in this game. You all know that from my How to Make Jets Faster video. But I need some accuracy, you know. And I think that this is my chance. Or not. Okay. Well, I'm thinking I'm gonna try that again. There's land over here. This is actually gonna add some challenge to it. Here. It is already going, and it's getting pretty close to the mainland already. I need to get into the jet and explode that thing as quick as possible. Here we go. Let's hope for the best. And, of course. Well, it would appear I fully lost. Okay, time to reset and try again. And if I can't get it this time, then I'm gonna have to try for another method. Okay, this time I'm only giving myself 10 seconds before this thing starts moving. So, I need to get over here and place down that jet real quick, or else it's gonna be a fail. I'm gonna have to try all over again with a different build. So, yeah, as I said, or as I kind of pointed at, I'm gonna be taking off from here this time. There we go. It looks like it started. I could be wrong. Okay, this thing does not like taking off from here. Okay, good thing that the nuclear ship is slow. Because, yeah, this thing... That's its one issue. It could have very much so benefited from landing gear. I think this is... No, this is the version where I didn't take out the extra thrust yet. Anyway, though... Oh, it's already almost there. It's almost there. Come on! Can I do it? Ah, I bombed myself again. No! And at that moment, Everyone died. The end. Okay, so clearly this plane didn't work. It had its issues. You know, the cannons were too far back, and if I was turning and not going perfectly straight, it would just shoot itself. So, how do you get around an issue like that? Well, I'll tell you right now, it's really simple. Instead of shooting out the ammo, I gotta become the ammo. And I'm not saying that in a kamikaze type way, I'm saying that in a missile type of way. Now this thing right here is something that I actually already had built, so I'm sorry you don't get to see the build process, but on the bright side, it is a very, very fast, very easily controlled missile that is just pretty much perfect. Not gonna toot my own horn with that one, but it does basically anything you could need it to do pretty well. And I think that this might just be the key to taking down the boat. So, I'm gonna paint this thing up, you know, make it look a bit more official, and then we're gonna get started for another attempt. So here we have the new and somewhat improved missile. This thing is still an absolute beast. You know, ignore the fact that it just fell down. It's got enough gyros where that doesn't really matter. But it still is going to be absolutely insane. And I guess it works as a boat, too. Okay, so this time, instead of a time limit before it starts moving at all, I'm actually giving it a time limit till it reaches full power in terms of moving forward. So, for example, half of the engines are going to start immediately, and the other half will start after only 5 seconds. Now, the reason I'm giving such a low timer for this is because we're near that other island, and I'm going to be starting the missile from there. And this thing doesn't go very fast, even at its top speed. So, I'm going to back up a bit. You know, just a little bit more. And then we will get started. Okay, and here we go. I need to spawn in that missile and take that thing out. Now, I did not activate the weapons on it just because it's not a massive target, and the weapons on there would absolutely not end up hitting this missile. It just wouldn't happen. Those things, if vehicles like that without a person in them could auto-aim, then maybe, but here we go. Wait, no! No! Okay, wait. I still can recover this. If I can get up to the surface in time. I'm not out yet. I'm almost out. But you can't give up hope yet. Swimming in this takes so long. Come on, come on. Oh! That is way farther than I thought it was, because it's going through the other island. Okay, yeah, I have time to fully relaunch the missile from land and all that. That thing... I've got time. Okay, here we go. We did it! Wait, is it still moving? It still has the engines! It's still gonna blow up! No! I mean, to be fair, even if I blew it up at this point, it still would, you know, basically be the same as if I made sure it wouldn't. And to be fair, this is even better. This way, it doesn't actually fully blow up at all. This should have been my real mission. Should have just been having to take out the engines. That would have been way harder and way more fitting for the mission. So, I'm thinking that missile was a 1000% success. I mean, that even went better than I thought it would, and, you know, there still wasn't the massive explosion, which is even better. You know, why have anything explode? I'm just kidding. I'm still gonna make it explode. Here we go. How? Okay, wait, no, how? How on earth did I destroy not just the floor part, but even the aerodynamic pieces next to the dynamite without destroying any of the dynamite? You know what? Let me just get on top of here. Let me Go up real quick. And... seriously? How is dynamite this durable? Dynamite is never this durable in this entire game. And now that I need it to not be, now it is. That is just amazing. I'm gonna try one more time with the missile. I mean, the missile succeeded long ago. I just want the explosion. There we go. Now that is better. Anyway, yes, so the missile, 1000% success, as I said. That worked amazingly, better than I ever could have even expected. We literally just incapacitated the ship and then left it there. No worries, no cleanup. I mean, there would be cleanup, but no massive explosion. Realistically, that's what you want right there. Anyway, though, I think we have time for one more idea. One more attempt at taking down this ship. And there's a couple ideas that I have, so I'm not quite sure which one to go with. And I'm thinking the main ideas out of those that I'm really wanting to go for are either some sort of torpedo bomber from like World War II, or a strategic, stealth, whatever, bomber where I could fly really high and just drop a lot of bombs and completely decimate it. I'm talking even more than decimate. Decimate doesn't even get close to what we will do to this bomber, or this cargo ship, if I make this bomber. Or, actually, I have a bomber, but I'm not sure if I want to use it yet. So, I'm trying to decide from those two. And I think I'm going to have to go with bomber. And if you guys would like to see how a torpedo would fare against this boat, or how any other ideas would fare against it, then make sure to leave a comment down below and I'll make a part 2. Because, yeah, this has been an idea I really wanted to work on for a really long time. And yeah, I've been waiting a long time to finally be able to do this. I've been searching, because I didn't actually make the ship itself. The ship itself was from a build on the workshop, and I've just heavily edited it. But it's just a generic cargo ship that I added a ton to. So, if any of you would like to even use the boat for yourself, I could add it to the workshop, but if you guys wouldn't like, or if you guys would like that, then it would be worth it. But otherwise, I'm not going to. It's not like I'm, dying to add it to workshop or anything. It's just an idea. So yeah, in short, if you guys would like to see any part 2, make sure to leave the comment down below saying so. And if you guys would like for me to put the boat or this jet that I made on the workshop, feel free to let me know down in the comments as well. Anyway, let's get making that bomber. Well then, I just crashed before I even started building the bomber. It's probably for the better though, because yeah, all the broken parts and all that, this world probably was struggling. Anyway, the bomber that I'm thinking of remaking, or at least basing this bomber off of, is going to, of course, be none other than the B-52. Now, I'm not going to be doing a direct replica or anything. It's just a vague design choice, But that's the general idea that I'm going to be going for. So, let's get started. Okay, so here is the general shape of the bomber. And now to just kind of build those massive wings, massive tail, and to absolutely fill it with bomb bays. Now, when I say fill it, I don't mean fully because I'm not trying to crash my game again, but it's still going to be plenty to destroy that boat. Okay, so, off the very top of my mind, this is the general idea I had for the look of a B-52, and I'm not sure if it's quite correct. I know there's I know there's only half the engines, but obviously I'm not going to put 8 of those engines for this. So let's see how it flies. Well, due to all the wings, it really wants to go up. But this thing would make a great glider. That's for sure. Okay, so test number 2. I have changed the weight a lot. And yeah, now I need to take away weight from the front, because I put a lot of weight in the front. But on the right side, here is the bombs, which, once again, absolutely plenty for taking out the ship. Not going to struggle with that at all in terms of the amount of bombs. Okay, yeah, so If it's not going, it pitches down like crazy, but if I am moving, and if it builds up speed, and if it kind of starts to level out, it starts to go up. So, I think that's good enough at least. I think, you know, I don't need anything too amazing. I don't need some perfect flying B-52 or anything, I just need it to work. Which means, it's time to fill this in, add some landing gear so I can take off a bit easier, and then paint it up and try bombing that boat and see how it goes. And this here is the bomber. Now, this thing is not going to actually be easy to use, is the issue. It's going to be easy to hit the target with, I believe. I'm pretty certain of that. Like, for example, let me go down a bunch, and let me get a bit lower to the ground, but I'm still not going to get super low. And I literally just can fly over it and do that. Which, you know, not that difficult. One of those is bound to hit it. But the issue is, once again, this thing pitches up and down a bit every now and then. And the bigger issue is actually getting to it, because this thing's pretty big. You know, it's not going to take off super easily anywhere. My best bet is probably to once again try to take off from this little island and just really hope for the best. Which, funny enough, there we go. Now, let's go throw that boat in the water and see if I can blow it up. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. Since this time is the last round, and it's it's all or nothing. It's all or nothing. This thing's either gonna blow up and destroy the entire mainland, or I'm gonna stop it in its course and blow it up instead. So, since this is the high stakes round, I'm not gonna give it any timer. I'm just gonna back it up a lot. We are gonna have the weapons on. And our goal is to fly in such a way where I can dodge those and then blow this up before it can blow up the mainland. So, let me fly back to the bomber, and we have until that thing gets to land, which is, as slow as it is, not as long as you would think. I do hate that it kind of sinks down. Like, visual glitches when you get away from builds are real weird with this game. Okay, so, it's coming, and we gotta hope, absolutely hope as much as possible that I can take off here. There we go. Okay. We gotta turn around. It's all or nothing. It all comes down to this. There it is. If I mess up, then there is still a chance. Here we go. Here we go. It's all on this. Yes, I did it. We've saved the mainland. There was no casualties except for whoever was driving that boat. And today is a mission that was well done. It has been a success, and hopefully next time, if there is a next time, it can be even more of a success, and hopefully I build a jet in the beginning that will do a bit better. But let's land this thing, and yeah, I'd say that was by far as effective as the missile was. I'd say that was even more effective. That, you know, that completely served its purpose. That was entirely what I was hoping for and what I knew would end up happening. I am so proud of this bomber here. This thing took like a couple minutes at most to make, and just completely blew it out of water, literally and figuratively. With that though, that's gonna be the end for today. So once again, if you liked this kind of video, if you want to see more things with me trying to blow up that boat before it can reach land, make sure to let me know down in the comments below. Make sure to let me know any other ideas for how to stop it from reaching land, because once again, I have a lot of ideas, but more ideas are always a good thing. And also, of course, if you'd rather not see a video like this ever again, then feel free to let me know that down in the comments below too. I always want to hear all of your input, and I always want to know what kind of videos to get out to all of you. to make this as good of a channel as possible. And, once again, if you'd like to see any of the vehicles shown in this video on the workshop, then feel free to just say so down in the comments below, and I will most likely end up adding them. Like, I'm trying to add more to my workshop. Funny enough, I still haven't added the jet that I made for the speed video, which I know I said I would a couple days after posting it, but I've just been busy and completely forgot. But yeah, so if you liked this kind of content, make sure to subscribe. We're almost to 250, which is my goal for by the end of the year. And yeah, I think that's all. If you liked this video all around, make sure to leave a like. Comment any of those things down below. Until next time, everyone, and goodbye.